make white rice a little bit more interesting. So this is summer recipes today. We are going to talk all about it. But first, hi. Second, cheers. Thanks for joining me on your Wednesday. Um, Maybe you're cooking right now. Maybe you're just hanging out on the couch. Thank you. We really appreciate it. Okay, so I promised you summer recipes. We're doing summer recipes. Nothing is more summer than a grilled pork tenderloin to me. Pork is so good, so meaty, so lean, and it's such a great vessel for whatever you want to marinate it in. And I always like the simpler, the better. So here is a pork marinade, two pork tenderloins I have marinating. I'll show you on the bottom split. But it is olive oil, honey, lime zest, lime juice, soy sauce, and Worcestershire for the salt, um, and a little black pepper for the spice. So it's a little acidic, a little salty, definitely oily, but a great marinade to just like let it chill. It's got that balance of acidity and oil because too much acidity in something as lean as pork will start to change the color of the pork and also remove some of the moisture and make it dry out more on the grill. We don't want that. So we're making a peach salsa with that. Nothing more summer. Stone fruit season from spring into the summertime. Peach salsas are great. I don't want to be served a peach salsa instead of salsa. Let me just clarify. But I do believe it makes a great topping for something lean and light. So like fish, chicken, pork, it's really, really good with. So we're gonna make a peach salsa. I'm gonna finish chopping up my ingredients. We're making an appetizer that's so cool. We're taking these vine tomatoes. They're small. They're called Campari tomatoes. Um, they are probably double the size of a cherry tomato, but they are really great vessels so they have the sweetness of a cherry tomato, but not so much the wateriness and flavorlessness of a bigger tomato, especially early in the summer season. So we're gonna scoop out the insides and we're gonna stuff it with a Southern classic pimento cheese. Is it because I really want to eat pimento cheese today? I don't know. But I do think this is a really cool idea, and it's based off of something that I made when I was younger. I made these. I took cherry tomatoes, I scooped them out. Cherry tomatoes, mind you, a lot of them too. It's a lot of work to scoop out cherry tomatoes. But I scooped them out. I stuffed it with mozzarella and basil, and I had like a little caprese tomato, which is such a cute idea, but it's a lot of work and execution. So you can totally do it with this. A little mozzarella in here, a fresh basil leaf, yum. We're gonna do pimento cheese because who doesn't like pimento cheese? And these are gonna make such a cool little um, bite or two for an appetizer. So very, very fun with that. And then here I have some cooked white rice. Um, I like I said, I'm a private chef, so I'll cook. People love rice. Healthy people love cauliflower rice. So a way to kind of spruce that up is, and add some vegetables to it and some substance is adding herbs, adding fresh greens to it. So I'm gonna take some baby spinach, 2 cups, and I'm gonna add in some parsley and either some mint or some dill. You can also use basil, cilantro, whatever you have to help freshen up those flavors. We're essentially making a pesto and then tossing it with the rice. Not sure post pandemic how most Chinese places are like, if they're giving you so much white rice anymore. But I just remember like anytime we ordered takeout in Chicago, we getting so much white rice. And so I just think it's a really great way to use up leftover white rice, and it's also a really awesome way to incorporate vegetables um, into your rice. So yeah, super good, super fun. Mark is gonna read me off some people who told me their names and where they're calling from, or they're calling from. Oh, I love to think I'm on The Price is Right or something. Yeah. Anyway, Mark, anyone?
Saskia from Denver, Colorado.
Saskia from Denver, Colorado. Hi. Ann Pingo. Hi, Ann Pingo. First time watching. Thanks for joining us. That's all we got. Yeah, so we have classes listed all the way up and through August. It's on our Facebook page at 12 Tomatoes. Just go to our events area and you can sign up for any classes in the future that you'd like to show up to, just so you can get notified. Or you can just join me here every Wednesday, starting again at 1 p.m. Pacific time. Right now, I'm just going to finish up my peach salsa ingredients. So I'm just going to chop up my parsley here. I'm doing parsley instead of cilantro for a couple reasons. Mainly, my big reason is I think cilantro is really, really divisive. I don't think people really like cilantro. But I do think it complements food in ways when it's in there. And it's not about just like the individual salsa. It's really good. I'm trying to be an advocate for using more cilantro, but you can't always. So I'm just showing you that this can work with parsley too. If you are a cilantro fan, I would use some cilantro because I just love cilantro. I could eat it as a lettuce. I love it so much. Okay, so where's my peach salsa? Here we go. I have some peaches I diced up. I have some red onion I diced up. Adding parsley. Tell me in the chat if you are a parsley lover or a cilantro lover. Which one you prefer? Let me know.
We got Sandy from Illinois.
Sandy from Illinois. Hi, Sandy. Do I know this Sandy? I know a Sandy. I have an aunt Sandy. Sandy Shove?
Yeah.
Sandy Shove. Sorry, I don't know you. But hi. Okay. So just chopping away. I have my jalapeno here. I have a salsa without a little bit of heat. And jalapenos happen to be the lightest of the heat. You kind of find a lot of jalapenos without spice to them, and it's really good. I like a little heat, so I'm going to keep a little bit of the seeds in. Terry Moreau from Springfield, Missouri. Hi, Terry.
Maybe not Missouri.
Springfield, MO? MA, Massachusetts. Terry from Springfield, Massachusetts. There's like a Springfield literally everywhere. So wild. All right, in goes my jalapeno.
We have a few votes for parsley, a few votes for cilantro.
Oh, nice. Okay. Hey, that's not as divisive as I thought. Half and half. A few votes for cilantro, a few votes for parsley. Thanks, guys. What about jalapenos? Yes or no? Yay or nay? I was talking about this with our lead recipe writer, Christy, about whether or not our 12 Tomatoes audience likes spicy. I made this recipe called Zesty Pinwheels because I didn't want to put spicy in the name because I wasn't sure whether or not spicy would be too much of a like buzzword to get people to not click on it. Because I know my mom, certainly Joanne, Worth, Illinois, does not like spicy food. And anytime you say spicy, she just immediately turns off. So I'm curious. I'm adding some red jalapeno in here now. I love it for the color. You can totally use like red bell pepper. The color gives me the illusion that red bell pepper is in here, or that there's like a sweetness to the pepper. And look at just the color. Look at how colorful this is now. It's gorgeous. Gorge. And Saskia loves jalapenos in everything. I love that, Saskia. I'm glad you're on my team. I love it everywhere. I will put it in everything. I'll even put it in my pestos now. Jalapenos just add so much flavor and can be crushed up. Sorry, Mark.
Adrian from Tucson, Arizona.
Adrian from Tucson votes cilantro. Adrian, I have such a question for you. Next week, we're making one of your hometown specialties in Tucson, which is the Arizona Sonoran hot dog. which is a barbecue wrapped hot dog, a bacon wrapped hot dog with beans and sauce and all that. Anyway, my question to you is, how do you prefer your Sonoran dog? What did you grow up with? I'm very, very curious when I'm writing this recipe because I want to create my own version of that, right? But I also some have like so the one I'm writing is bacon wrapped hot dog, beans, jalapeno salsa, caramelized onions, raw onions, a crema on top or a mayo. Um, that's not what crema is, but or mayo, and then mustard. So I don't know. It sounds like a lot, but it sounds like the authentic way. So let me know.
I'll let you know. But Sheila in the comments says, "Oh my God, Sarah dogs! I can't wait."
Oh my God, Sheila, you know him. I grew up in Chicago. We live and died by Chicago dog. I don't understand. Never understood what that was. Does anyone else know what the Sonoran dog is? Even here in Seattle, they have a dog, a hot dog, the Seattle dog with cream cheese. Blew my mind a bit. All right, I'm tossing the peach salsa right now. A little lime juice, a little salt. I'm gonna add a little olive oil to just kind of bind everything together. All right. Sheila, I love that you knew that. That's awesome.
Adrian responded.
Adrian, yes, Adrian. Ooh. Oh no. Adrian, I'm talking about the hot dog. I'm curious on what that like. What's your favorite spot for the Arizona Sonoran dog? What's your favorite spot? I'm guessing it's like a Cuban sandwich in Miami. Like you're just gonna find those spots everywhere. So I'm curious. Okay, here's the peach salsa. Now me, ready to go. Super simple. We'll taste it for seasoning before we plate it. Okay, what should we do? We're gonna do the tomatoes because they're here and I'll get them out of the way. Okay, so left a couple uncut, and then I also just wanted to show you the hollowed out shells I have for all of these. So um, cutting them, now I'm realizing that they're always gonna kind of leach out a little bit of moisture. So I want to be sure to flip them upside down and let some of them drain some of their moisture out. So what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna tell you is to put them upside down on a wire rack and let them sort of drain. That will be the best solution, but I just wanna show you. So here's the already hollowed out ones I got. I have 4 unhollowed to show you, but I don't know how well you can see it, but there's some water coming out of it. Not a huge deal. The cheese is really gonna do a lot of the work to clog it up, I guess is a good way of putting it. But, I just wanted to show you that, like, that's some of the things you might run into when you're making these, is that you might get a little bit of water leakage. So as you're scooping them, just put them upside down. But let me show you how easy it is to scoop. So I have a very tiny spoon here. Love a tiny utensil, big fan. And then tomatoes have 3 areas that are connected. So 1, 2, and underneath, we're gonna scoop. Now, I did just write a recipe, mimed after this sandwich in Illinois called, the sandwich condiment called the guts. They're called sandwich guts. And so you can totally make some sandwich guts with these tomatoes, some onion, and some pickle, and a little celery salt. Makes for a really good condiment if you're very cognizant about wasting all this tomato. You can put this in your tomato sauce that you're making or even a semi-homemade tomato sauce. And, my favorite way of using it is just to blend it up and in an immersion blender and make a sub sauce out of it. So any sandwich, a little tomato jus would be so delicious with. All right, there we go. That's how easy. I mean, it was 4, but it would be boring if you were watching me make all the other ones.
We got a response about
Nice.
So Adrian says, Garo Canelos in Tucson, Arizona.
Garo Canelos. Okay.
And then food trucks around Tucson that makes kick-ass hot dogs. You forgot to mention some whole pinto beans on the dog.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe I did forget to mention that. I think I said it in the beginning, but yeah, whole pinto beans. It's the dog and then the pinto beans. Oh, it's so wild. Beans on the. I mean, chili on dogs makes sense too. So I understand that. That's so cool. I need to write that place down and see what they're doing. Recon. Okay. So now we're making the pimento cheese. If you've never had pimento cheese, you are seriously missing out. It sounds so weird that the entirety of this is made out of cheese. Like, you're basically making a chicken salad, a ham salad, a tuna salad, same kind of components with mayo, but the tuna or the chicken protein is cheese. So it's kind of cool. I'm adding mayo. I'm adding some green onion. I'm adding some diced pimentos, a little dash of cayenne for some heat, and a little sprinkle of some garlic powder. So the goal is to smush this mayo into the cream cheese, or into the, sorry, not the cream cheese, into the cheese. The cheese should be nice and soft as well. So I like to grate it and then just kind of leave it out at room temperature for a couple, for like 20 minutes. And it really does help to mix this around. Like any good chicken salad, tuna salad, pasta salad, it's going to be better as it sits. But right away, it should taste pretty good. So I'm going to taste it for seasoning in a minute. And then we're stuffing it right into these tomatoes for a little nice little appetizer. This is cheddar cheese. I got 8 ounces of cheddar cheese, 8 ounces of pepper jack cheese. Just for a nice little spice, a little heat. And I'm just taking my fork and I'm really just smashing the cheese into the mixture. The finer you can get your cheese to be kind of crumbly and move as like a filling, the better off it's gonna end up tasting. So the pepper jack cheese got really, really soft, which is awesome. Okay, we'll let that sit. Let's taste it. I have a fork in it, but mmm, mmm. Oh, it's so yummy. Does need a bit of salt with the mayo in it. Ooh, the heat is wonderful. Mix, 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 mix. I wonder if I can use an ice cream scoop for this. That's what I was thinking. Let's try. All right, time to stuff these bad boys. Let me grab an ice cream scoop. Adrian, thank you so much about your favorite hot dog. That's so sick. Yeah, so next week we're doing 4th of July celebration, kind of celebrating some American staples, maybe not so well known around America, like the Sonoran dog, but also, okay, I'm seeing that the hole looks a little small for this, but maybe, here we go. Here's what I'm gonna do. Roll it into a log. It feels so weird. I'm gonna push it in. Oh, so much finger in this. Okay. I'm gonna do, I don't think the ice cream scoop is working, so I'm gonna try my tiny little spoon that I carved this out of. Kinda doing like a heaping tablespoon of it with all the peppers, the cheese, the green onion. Would I make this for a client? I don't know. I don't know if they would want this. This kind of feels a little, too simple. Usually when people are paying for a private chef to cook it with them, cook for them, They want something a little fancier, a little sexier. Okay. So just stuffing with cheese. Wow, these look great. And also keto, if anyone cares. No not no carbs, no gluten. I guess the gluten-free people love this, I hope. Alright, keep moving it. I am going to keep trucking on these. Yeah, anyway, next week we're doing the Arizona Sonoran dog. We're doing um, this elote style watermelon salad. Just because watermelon feels so summertime for me. I feel like you cannot go to a 4th of July party and not see watermelon there. So I was just thinking of like interesting ways. We've all seen the watermelon salad at this point. So what's like a nice one? And then we're also doing barbecue chicken legs with a Alabama white sauce. Anyone from Alabama knows. Um, oh, sorry, I was setting up a mic because of any joke. Yeah, anyone from Alabama knows the white sauce. It is mayo based, horseradish, and a little bit of apple cider vinegar. But we're gonna cook up some spiced grilled wings, and then we're going to I'm gonna share the recipe with you. Okay, maybe I should have cut the bottoms just so that these would be a little bit more stable, but I think it'll be fine. I'm gonna lean them up against each other. And even if they kind of rotate, it's not like anything's spilling out of there. Okay, I know how boring this is, guys. I'm so sorry. I just got halfway through it. I'm gonna move my butt so we can get on to pork. Again, this pork marinade is a little olive oil, lime juice, lime zest, honey, some Dijon mustard, some black pepper, some soy sauce, and Worcestershire as the salty component. Ugh, they look so cute. I can't tell like how much to stuff in each one, but I'm just going until it's nice and high. Imagining, they kind of look like a little like deviled eggs, but they're tomatoes. Yum. Such a big fan of tomatoes here. Okay. All right. I'm going to finish the last of them later. I'm bored. I can't imagine how bored you are watching me scoop things like that. So put these off to the side, let them cool, let the flavors chill. Actually, good idea. We should put them in the fridge. Ooh, 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 right. Fits. Okay, let's grill some pork. So I have my pork marinating here. It's been marinating for about an hour. Kind of breaking my rules here, but we're gonna take this pork onto the grill over here. I'm gonna preheat my grill pan, nice and hot. The one thing we're gonna do before we start grilling is just dabble off some of our excess marinade here. And we're just gonna prepare our grill pan with a little bit of oil. Okay, I'm done with my cutting board, so I can keep this a little dirty. Great pork marinade, so good. I wish you could save marinades, but it's such a hazard to do that because it's just such a good recipe. But maybe make double of it or something. It'll last quite a bit of time. All right. So, what was I gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna pat it dry with some paper towel so we can get that good sear on it. We're not using an outdoor grill. If I was using a preheated outdoor grill, um, I wouldn't worry so much about putting it on the pan on the grill as wet as this is, but since I don't have a lot of that aeration on a grill pan, like a grill has that layer, that chamber below with all the heat where that liquid can run off, but it really doesn't have a place to run off on a pan. All right. So preheating our pan, we're just about to sear off our pork. Mm, sear. Could be hotter, but you know what? We're gonna run with it. There we go. We got sear. We got one searing sound from the corner. That's good news. And now our next one. So we're going to pair this with our peach salsa after it's cooked. We're going to cut it into shingles. So I think, I don't know. Are you guys, tell me in the chat if you guys are pork tenderloin fans or pork chop fans or pork loin fans. I know my mom, maybe I'm wrong now, but I know she's more of a pork tender or more of a pork loin fan, the big guy. You can see like boneless pork chops cut out of. I don't know. For some reason, I feel like pork tenderloin doesn't get used that much because it's like a tenderloin or something, but it's so cheap and like it's just a little finicky to cook and finish. Don't worry, we have a thermometer. Our trusty thermometer here. I did trim off my silver skin. Just trying to make sure it's on adequate heat enough here. Awesome, awesome. All right, so I have a little pan that I'm using here that I'm going to transfer it off of. Something that's awesome about pork tenderloin is, depending on your heat of your grill, you can cook the whole thing on the grill without having to throw it in the oven, which I'm a huge fan of. But generally, when you put any meat on the grill, this is your show side, okay? So this is the side that's gonna be the showcase side. This is the side you're gonna present, the side you're gonna cut from, and the way that they're gonna see the grill mark. So what I like to do is leave this on this side as long as I can. So with my pan being as little preheated as it is, we'll probably go for about 5 minutes on this first side. But don't forget, I also want to get that grill mark. So I am going to like flip it. I'm going to go, so it's like this right now, but I'm going to take it and I'm going to go like this so I can get the other grill mark. So the pan goes like this. Oh wait, no, I gotta flip it. So it goes this way. I need to flip it so it goes this way. Yeah, gotta make an X. Oh, there it is. Spitting. It's been about 2 minutes, I would say, right now. Maybe 3. I can smell some of it cooking, especially at this end here. Oh yeah, that is cooking. Oh yeah, the heat. Oh, the heat. So uneven. We're gonna get our little cross section here. How are we looking on this one? Oh, gorgeous. I need to cut it a bit more. Trying to